Hello YouTubers, this is the noobifier and welcome to another no bullshit video. My videos are short and to the point. If you like what I'm doing, please check out my other videos and subscribe to keep up to date. Here we go. Each week, near the end of Around the Verse, there's usually a sneak peek. They call it fast forward now, but it's basically a teaser of what's supposed to come. Like every week, this short segment allows us citizens to get excited about something new. A glimpse of a ship, a piece of hangar flare, some concept art. Normally not terribly significant, but not this time. What we got in a 30-second clip was more meaningful than anything I've ever seen to date. A proof of concept. Many people watched and thought, oh, that's neat. I watched in awe and got goosebumps. What I was looking at was a functional version of something that was at the very core of why I was interested in Star Citizen to begin with. When Chris Roberts set out his goals, he used a very particular word to describe his Kickstarter project. Seamless. Seamless could be interpreted in many ways. The way he meant for it to be interpreted, though, was no loading screens, no transition movies, and no breaks in immersion. The player would exist in a virtual universe with millions of other players, and the experience would be seamless. When I heard that for the first time, I was like, Chris Roberts, sign me up. We've had games that have let you walk on planets, we've had games with large-scale simulated universes, and we've had large-scale games that let you interact with millions of players. But there's never been a game like this, which has let you land anywhere, anytime on any planet, just because you felt like it. Once they master this, I have confidence that all of the other goals in Star Citizen are going to fall into place. The really tricky part is going to be combining two very big challenges. The first one is procedural generation. Procedural generation is going to allow players to experience landing on the surface of a planet. In real life, distant objects are difficult to differentiate from other objects and are more generalized to your eye. Basically, things are fuzzy and lack definition. Forests look like green, oceans look like blue, and deserts look like brown. Everything's very generalized. As you get closer to these distant objects, your eye is able to make out the features, and the object is seen in greater detail. So with Star Citizen, the goal was, eventually you could be standing next to that object and interact with it. This is the plan for our simulation. The field of view means that as you get closer to the object's surface, less of it needs to be rendered. As long as the hardware is able to constantly fill in the detail where you're looking at, the player will be oblivious to the system and the immersion will be solid. This will allow the computer to task the hardware to render the scene in higher detail. The surface will pick up more fidelity. Trees, roads, distant cities, then animals and vehicles, signs of civilization, until you reach the surface and then walk. You're presented with a fully rendered first-person experience. You can guess what it's going to look like. Looking at the level of detail in the current game assets leads me to believe that we might be able to get out of the ship and walk anywhere and experience detail comparable to any other first-person shooter on the market today. I don't know how they're going to code this, but I have a very good understanding of the challenges that they face. Each year, these big blockers fall one after another. Once the core mechanics are addressed, then we can get some fidelity. Arena Commander is a prime example of that. The frame rates are fluid, the textures are gorgeous, and normally the hitboxes are really accurate. Compare that to the baby PU, and it's very easy to see where the extra years went. In my last video about physics grids, I mentioned that having a grid within a moving object was a milestone and groundbreaking. So this leads me nicely into the second point. I wanted to mention that the local physics grid was a stepping stone to a procedurally generated physics grid. The ship asset is created by the development team. They're tested, debugged, and proofed. Let's fast forward to the tech demo. That surface is being rendered on the fly by a computer, and the player is able to treat it as if it were a normal game asset. What we saw in ATV was actually the final piece that we need. It was totally downplayed. Citizens, in my opinion, this represents the most complex hurdle that they need to overcome. After this part is functional and reliable, I have every confidence that the rest of the game will evolve into what we're waiting for. CIG, we're all very excited to try this out in a future patch. Congratulations. I hope you found this video informative and entertaining. I'm a member of Redacted, a group of content creators who have come together to share their love for producing Star Citizen content. Each Redacted team member offer a unique perspective and style. Please check the links in the description to easily find team members and the Redacted forums. My goal is to grow my channel, and I can't do that without the support from citizens like you. Please like and subscribe to help me get the word out about Star Citizen. Take care, and I'll see you in the verse.